So, hello everyone. Thank you for joining this session. I'm Han from Mistral AI. So today, as you can see in the title, that I'm going to talk again, the agentic stack. So actually what I'm going to talk is not the hype version of agentic stack that you can find on Twitter, on LinkedIn, but I'm more here to talk about agentic stack that really matters in the regulated industries. I don't know if you have the same feeling as I do recently. We have seen so many AI demos. Those are very fantastic. Like, if you have the ideas, you can cook it like a fast food. Just in one click, you have the idea, you can build it in hours and even 2 days. A very, very great demo. But here, the speed matters, but what really regarding the consistency and also where the data, the ingredient, it comes from and how it was processed. No one asked that question. But on the contrary, in the regulated environment, actually we all require the AI system more like a Michelin star restaurant. It means that every single data, every ingredient, we need to trace from farm to the plate. And also the chef could tell you every single step, how he made the dish. And also the health inspector is not just visiting your restaurant once a year, but also they're kind of sitting in the kitchen and watching you how you are serving your customer. So that is the exact fast food and Michelin food contrast from this diagram that I want to show you here. Is about the faster build AI system. Often they are focusing on the wrong outcomes. So they are focusing on optimize the wow effect for your investor, the wow effect for your board members, but they are not really optimized, for example, for the compliance manager in the bank. They need to reply the question, why you rejected 3,000 loans last year? And also the CIO from the hospital, they need to prove they don't leak any patient data outside of the AI system. And all of this, the real truth is that here what we have learned is the AI transformation does not really come from the out-of-shelf AI solution. So the real success comes from the understanding of the regulated systems. So the understanding of regulated system is to build the architecture by having the compliance at the core value. So not the compliance as an afterthought. So with this, I may need your help now. So maybe you already got this question today. I think you had so many sessions. So my question is, please raise your hand if you have already prototyped an AI application recently. So we can see almost more than 90% of the people have raised their hands. So please keep your hand if your application is already running in production and serving millions of customers. So I see still a very good number of hands raising, but here is a gap that what we are seeing today. So most companies, they are delivering a lot of prototypes, but maybe not all of them, or even half of them, delivering that into the production system. So let me give you some stories to tell about where the gap come from. So the first story I can tell you is around the insurance company. So in the insurance company, they have built a very beautiful AI system to process all the claim processing. So with this system, it works perfectly in the testing environment. But the moment when they put into production, actually the system refused 30% of claims more than it should be. And during 6 weeks, no one has discovered that. And of course, they have a feedback loop. So their feedback loop is they hired an intern to manually check the logs every day, but they didn't discover that. So this is the first gap we can see here, is the low visibility about your AI system. You couldn't wait that your customer discover there is a problem before you really discover that there are some issues happening in your AI system. And the second story is in the AI in the bank system. So most of you, if you have already worked for a bank system, you know about the KYC workflow, so know your customer. So this kind of workflow often a process during a period of time, at least 10 minutes. And for one process, it can break in the middle. So if your KYC system workflow, it brings at one single step, for example, at 2 a.m., an API timed out, and the whole system crashed, you need to decide which step. So you need to figure out which step it was stopped, and how can I get back to the state where it was stopped. You don't want the whole system crashed and lost every single state. So this is the second gap we see here, is the operational brittleness. And the third story is in a financial service provider company. So this system has already been running in the production for several months. It works very well until they got the first external audit. And the first question from the external auditor is that, so please tell me, the prompt that you used to generate this investment advice for this customer in 15 March. So at this moment, if your answer is, please let me check in my GitHub repo, so actually you are having some compliance issues. So this is the third gap, is around the limited governance. So you need to be able to have a single place to have a single place where you can find all your models, prompt, and data set to make sure that everything is not scattered across all the systems. And with these gaps in mind, so actually what I want to share with you is the three negotiable principles that you should apply in your production AI. So the first principle is around having an eye on everything. So it means that you need a reliable visibility into AI performance. You need to have a continuous insight into every single steps that have in your model, and having your interaction with large language model, and having the trace what tools has been called. And the second principle here is you need to anticipate system fails, and system will always fail. So here you need a durable execution for complex workflow, and it need to be resilient. It need to be stateful. And if something happened on the API timeout, you will be able to retry it intelligently and get back to the normal state. And even if you have a more general failure happen on the whatever systems, you will be able to start over from the state where you were left off. And the third principle here is around the governance. It means that you need to have a single truth, a single source of the truth. So here you need a governed management of all your AI assets. All your AI assets, not only for models, not only for prompt, but also for data sets, also for output generated that you use as a test suite. So all of this need to be versioned. It needs to have lineage, and you will be able to trace back where you want to. So if you still remember my first story around the insurance claim process, so here you can see that this is something solution that they may need in that situation where they may need to assess if they have a problem or not. So firstly, you need to have all the traces at one place, and you can see what happened in the performance. And secondly, you cannot scale your system feedback loop by hiring more interns to review logs, right? So you need to be able to apply a large language model and a judge, and apply this judge on every single interactions to make sure you are doing the validation right. And of course, you may have some very weird edge cases happen in the production, and you want to transform this weird edge case into your test suite. So each time when you change your model, change anything in your system, you will be running this regression test with the real data, not the synthetic benchmark data coming from somewhere else. And of course, you have this in one dashboard. And the story around the KYC workflow, so I told you that due to one API which was timed out at 2 a.m., and you lost every state, everything happened. So now you need to have, it's more like a durable agent. So you will be able to save every single state in the system, and you will be able to executing the long-running task with retry and with recovery. So if it's only a simple API timeout, you just retry twice, you will get back to the normal state. But if your data center just lost electricity, maybe you need to restart the whole system, but you still have the state where we were stopped and go back from that state to start again. So all of this is around the agent runtime that you need to be able to trace. And all of this can be circled back again into the AI observability, and you can find in your trace how your agent executes every single step. And the last last story around the auditor who asked a question, which version of the prompt you used for the investment advice. So today, if you have the similar question, you can confidently open this kind of interface. So here you will have one unified source of truth, is where you can see your different prompt, your model, and your data set with the version and lineage. It means that you know exactly at what moment you used which AI data set and generate which type of output. And from there, you can use it as all to enhance your governance in a programmatically way. It means that you can integrate this AI registry into your CI/CD pipeline. For example, if this model has never been tested in the QA environment, it shouldn't be deployed in the production environment. So with this, with these three technical components, let me just put it into the big picture of the AI enterprise suite, how you can foresee that. So on the bottom level is where you have your large language model, is where you have your infrastructure. So this diagram is a general diagram that we use in Mistral for all industries. But here, if you are in a regulated industry, the question you should ask is around the data residency. So if I'm in the banking system, if I'm in the hospital healthcare system, where my data should sit? Should I keep my data in France? Should I keep my data in Frankfurt? Or should I keep my data in European region? So should I consider more a sovereign cloud infrastructure than a public cloud infrastructure? So there are so many questions you should ask before you deploy your infrastructure and where you want to settle your models. Once you have decided for your AI foundations, and now you can move forward on the development kit. So this is the layer where we talked about the AI observability, the governance, and also the durability of your agentic system. And with this development toolkit, you can build some customer application, really address the business problem that you have in your company. So all of this is not just an architecture pattern, but it is something has already been applied in different companies like ASML, BNP Paribas, CMA, CGM. So they use this pattern to do the deep innovation to address the highly embedded core process automation and also do the AI transformation at the organization level. I will leave you with this. So the question is, are you building the AI to impress or are you building the AI to last? Thank you, everyone.